Hello and welcome to an episode of Geek Lunch. I'm your host Chris, as usual, and today I thought we would take a look at the upcoming movie Alien Romulus. We had a new poster and a new trailer for it this week, so it seemed like a perfect opportunity to have a look and just see. There seems to be a lot of nostalgia going on in the trailer, and whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, whether or not it's going to copy too much of what we've seen before. But yeah, so we'll take a look and see what we think. And if you like this video, don't forget, hit the thumbs up. It helps out a great deal, helps the video get seen by a lot more people. And if you've not already subscribed, well, smash that subscribe button. We'd absolutely love to have you as a subscriber here at the channel. So yeah, Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez, is hitting cinemas August the 16th. It was originally going to streaming, but I think with the success of Predator Prey and with some initial test screenings that have been very positive, they've decided to do a cinema release, which is fantastic. So first of all, this week we had this brand new poster, which I absolutely love. It's very simplistic, obviously just showing off the facehugger in all its glory. I love just the use of the red, danger warning, and it just evokes all the sort of Cronenbergian, body horror, nightmarish stuff of the facehugger. And just the sheer dread of this thing, violating you and impregnating you with this alien that's going to kill you as it bursts out of your chest. And it's interesting to think that in the first Alien, it was literally just an inert lump. It was on Kane's face, and then it fell off, and that was it. And it was only really in the second film that James Cameron made it into this this horrible beast that scuttles around, very sort of spider-like, and just sort of a big lump of muscle that just leaps at you. And as I say, is the absolute stuff of nightmares. It's very fitting that it's on the poster for Alien Romulus, as the trailer features the facehuggers quite considerably. And I'll put a link to the trailer in the description below, as always, if you've not already seen it. And if you have already seen it, why not watch it again? It is an absolutely fantastic trailer. It's been really well cut and put together, and has absolutely whetted my appetite for what's coming. So story-wise, we know the film is following a bunch of sort of terraforming colonists who appear to leave the planet, and they go off scavenging from a sort of abandoned space station, which is, I think it's like a twin space station, and it's called Romulus and Remus, named after the founders of Rome. They, of course, were brothers, and apparently there's a lot of sort of siblings and sort of that sort of relationship going on in the film. Our lead is Kaylee Spaney, who plays Rain Carradine. She was previously in Pacific Rim Uprising, which I'm just going to say, I absolutely love that film. I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but it's got some great giant robot on kaiju action, and it's all filmed in daylight without rain and darkness getting in the way, so you can see all the action going on. And I find it a very enjoyable movie, very much a sort of 80s Saturday morning kids cartoon that come to life. So I'm unapologetic about that. And she was also seen more recently in Civil War. We've then got David Johnson as her adopted stepbrother, and he is playing Andy, who apparently is the android this time round.
I prefer the term artificial person myself.
And a small geek nitpick, but hey, we're geeks, that's what we do. It's a shame they didn't carry on with the alphabetical sort of naming that they've done of the androids in the past. Alien, obviously, we had Ash, then you had Bishop, then Core, then David. So obviously, you would have thought they were now gone something beginning with E, but no, they've gone back to the beginning with Andy. So it's only a small geek nitpick, but that's what we're here for, and that's why we point these things out. We've then got Isabella Merced playing a character called Kay, and Archie Reno, who was in the appalling Morbius, he's playing Tyler. And if you watch the trailer with subtitles, it also shows that two of the other characters, their dialogue come up as being from Bjorn and Navarro. And it's interesting, this time round they've gone with a younger cast. I can see that sort of makes sense. From Alien movies, most of these people are probably going to die at any rate. And if it follows tradition, and if Rain Carradine sort of is sort of one of the only survivors, then it makes sense. If the film is successful and they want to carry on with other ones, then you've got a younger protagonist who can carry on making a whole series of films in the future, if that's what they want. And Fede Alvarez, the director, has said that they went back to using a lot of practical effects, which is always great. Now, they always sort of say that about these films when it comes out, because they know that people would rather see a lot of practical stuff rather than lots of CGI. But on saying that, the CGI has been done by Industrial Light and Magic, so it's going to be top notch. But apparently they did go back to legacy effects and some of the other people who worked on the original Alien and Aliens movies. So yeah, hopefully we're going to get a lot of practical effects work which I'm always in favour of. And we know the film is going to be set in between Alien and Aliens, and that it's going to sort of mimic the sort of style bridging between the two films. And that the style is going to be a mishmash of them both. And to me, that's a fantastic thing. Aliens, two of my favourite films of all time. Aliens probably in my top 5. So if you're getting a film, there's a hybrid between the two. I'm all for that. On saying that though, this is where you sort of start having to wonder whether or not, say from bits that are in the trailer, whether or not they are aping the two first films so much, and are we actually going to get to see anything new? Or is it going to be a bit like, Ripley's clones in Alien Resurrection, where, they're sort of, inferior copies of the original. So Alien Romulus finds itself in a sort of unique position. It's not a legacy sequel as we know it. Legacy sequels being, sequels to movies and franchises from quite a while ago that have been dormant for a bit. Force Awakens being the obvious one. It's, where they bring back returning cast members, but also add in new younger members of the cast, and then hoping that they can take the story going forward if needs be. Top Gun Maverick, another recent big example, and obviously Ghostbusters Afterlife as well. But with Alien Romulus, it's a sequel to Alien, it's a prequel to Aliens. We're not getting any of the returning cast members coming back, although there is a rumor. I'll address that later on as a bit of a spoiler. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but we'll go into that later. And then Aliens as a franchise is an interesting one because it's absolutely beloved, but when you actually look at it, the very first two films are absolutely fantastic. I say some of the greatest films ever made, and from there on out, your mileage may vary. It's actually similar to Predator. Again, the first two films are great. Everything else is of varying degrees of quality, which actually, think about it, is exactly the same as the Terminator franchise. Two absolute classic movies, followed by, mostly sort of a load of garbage. What we don't want Alien Romulus to turn out to be is like another Terminator 3 that is basically just taking the greatest hits of the first two films and adding nothing new, and then being an inferior movie as a result. Now, I'm a fan of nostalgia. I like seeing callbacks to previous movies, for the sort of fan service, but obviously as long as there's not too much of it. Now, the way the new trailer for Romulus has been cut is very reminiscent of the original two movies. Some shots are pulled, almost identical, virtually from them. I think it was the previous teaser trailer that had this shot that looks exactly like from Aliens, with sort of Ripley and the pulse rifle. And then the big money shot from this new trailer, it ends with this scene, which is basically it's the scene that everyone remembers from Alien 3, with the creature, the xenomorph, right up against Ripley's face. So they're definitely hitting all the nostalgia buttons. You've got the familiar sound of the motion tracker running throughout the trailer as well. And interestingly, it reminds me a lot of Alien Isolation, the video game. Now, that was about Ripley's daughter, again, on board a sort of, malfunctioning space station that was infested with aliens. And some of the shots in the trailer, as they're sort of running through corridors, look like that could be lifted from the game completely. So, I suppose, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think the trailer plays great, but, we know from past experiences, even in the Alien franchise, that, the Prometheus trailer, when that first came out, looked absolutely fantastic. It looked like, Ridley Scott had made a bona fide prequel to Alien, hitting all the right notes. And then obviously when the film came out, very disappointing. So we've definitely been burnt by this sort of thing before. But I'm hoping, I like Fede Alvarez, I like his previous stuff, the Evil Dead remake he did, Don't Breathe. He knows how to do tension and working with young casts. As I said before, with the practical effects, with ILM doing the visual effects, I'm sort of, cautiously optimistic that this is going to be a great fun time at the cinema. I suppose at the end of the day, after sort of all the mediocre Aliens movies we've had, since Alien, I'll just be quite happy if we get a standalone fun adventure, very much like Predator Prey, and hopefully come August, that's what we'll get, and it'll just be a good fun time in the cinema. So going back to that rumour I was talking about, I don't usually report on lots of general rumours. The internet's full of them. This channel's motto, is no hate, no bait. I don't throw things out there, just to try and get clicks. But this seems to be a persistent rumour. It's been reported on a lot. I don't know if it's come from some sort of initial test screening. But there is talk that they are using AI, possibly, to resurrect Ian Holm as Ash. Now, it's unclear as whether or not that they're going to be actually bringing like a CG created android with Ian Holm's likeness, or whether or not it's the AI system of the space station, a bit like Mother, obviously in the original Alien, and that they're just using AI to maybe do, maybe like a computer generated version of his face comes up on a screen, or even maybe it is just they've recreated his voice using AI. So I say I'm not entirely too sure on the details. The name Rook sort of keeps appearing in all these reports as well. So possibly there is an AI on board the space station that's called Rook that may or may not be fashioned after Ian Holm as Ash. Or as I say, it may all be just a complete load of rubbish. We will find out in just over 2 months' time. So that's about it from me. Let me know in the comments below if you're looking forward to Alien Romulus. Do you think there's too much nostalgia going on? Does it look like it's just a load of fan service? Let me know what you think. So for now, this is Chris, last surviving crew member of Nostromo, signing off. Until next time, remember, eat geek and be merry.